Edward Coddington, National American University. If you want the ocean in your home, you have to maintain it. And basically what I mean by that is, if you want a saltwater coral reef or some type of coral type of aquarium, you have to maintain it, you have to keep it clean. Maintaining calcium and other essential elements are an important part of maintaining the aquarium. And you have to create a balance of nutrients to feed it correctly. First, a saltwater aquarium is like having the ocean in your home. A saltwater reef aquarium contains any combination of saltwater fish, coral, invertebrates, and all done in a balance to promote growth and life. Nutrient balance of elements such as strontium, magnesium, iodine, other trace elements feed the coral. The largest, most important nutrient in all of this is calcium. Too much of any of these can have a harmful effect on the water conditions, such as the pH value. If your pH value of the water goes up, it can become acidic. This can possibly have a very harmful effect on your living stuff if living in acid. And too little, and you're basically starving your living animals. Over time, these nutrients are absorbed or eaten by the coral or invertebrates and need to be replenished often. In the ocean, this is taken care of naturally by the magic circle of life. In extremely large scale, it can be done. In a small aquarium, you need to simulate it with chemical additives. Fish themselves have to eat a high protein diet to grow, as well as absorb the trace elements in the water. Adding brine shrimp and dried algae can sustain fish for several years or even decades. In the process of feeding all of these, you get a waste, a nitrate, nitrites, and ammonia mixed, and prolonged exposure can have a harmful effect on the lifespan of your living organisms. In the ocean, these are processed out by microalgae and plants using it as food. These fields of aquatic plants can spread for miles and feed off these nutrients, as well as photosynthesize to produce oxygen for other living animals. In small enclosed spaces in an aquarium, it's not enough room to grow in the amount of job that's needed. Another way is to chemically alter it. Chemically alter the waste produced using modern science, testing your water, adding a chemical or adding or subtracting something. You can create a balance. You can chemically neutralize some of the toxins. Adding too much, and you can cause a hazardous effect. Adding not enough, and it just doesn't do any good. The last way to rid yourself of these toxins is by a water change. Simply by removing a percentage amount of the water and adding a fresh, clean saltwater mix back into the system, the heavy dilution of toxins in fresh water keeps them at low levels. The salt water also holds much of the essential elements like magnesium and iodine needed to sustain life. Many of today's store-bought brands of salt also contain calcium. That we started earlier is stating as the most important component. In conclusion, there's different ways of keeping the ocean alive in your home, but you have to maintain it to keep it alive and add your nutrients.